What if I told you the biggest video platform on earth was never meant to exist? No music empire, no creator economy, no viral videos. This is the untold story behind YouTube's invention and how a small problem changed the internet forever. Back in the early 2000s, the internet was a different world. We had text, we had images, and we had music thanks to platforms like Napster. But video was a nightmare. In 2004, if you wanted to share a video clip with a friend, you were in for a world of pain. First, the file sizes were huge. Your dial-up or early broadband connection would take hours, sometimes even days, to upload a short clip. Then you had to deal with complicated software. There was no single program that everyone used, so you had to worry about codecs, file formats like AVI, MOV, or WimberUM, and whether the person on the other end could even open it. There was no universal player like we have today. You had to download QuickTime, or Windows Media Player, or Real Player, and hope for the best. And even if you got all that right, the playback was often slow, choppy, and unreliable. The internet just wasn't built for video. Yet just 1 year later, in 2005, a website appeared that made all of that frustration disappear. It made sharing a video as easy as clicking a single button. That website, of course, was YouTube. But the story of how it came to be is not what you think. To understand YouTube, you first have to understand the people behind it. The platform was created by 3 former employees of PayPal, Chad Hurley, Chen, and Jawed Karim. Chad Hurley was the designer, a creative mind from Pennsylvania who was responsible for the look and feel of the site. Chen, who was born in Taiwan, was a brilliant software engineer, the technical muscle behind the operation. And Jawed Karim, born in Germany, was a computer scientist who brought a sharp, analytical perspective to the team. All 3 of them had worked together at PayPal, which had just been acquired by eBay in 2002 for a massive sum. With their stock options vested, many of the original PayPal team, often called the PayPal Mafia, were leaving to start new ventures. Hurley, Chen, and Karim stayed connected, and that connection would soon change history. The real spark for the idea came from a simple, relatable frustration. In early 2005, the founders were trying to share personal video clips from a dinner party, and they were running into all the problems we just talked about. Jawed Karim later explained in an interview that there was simply no easy way to upload a video and send it to friends. Email attachments had tiny size limits, and posting it on a personal website was far too complicated for the average person. They realized that if they were having this problem, millions of other people probably were too. That shared frustration planted the seed for what would become a global phenomenon. They knew there had to be a better way. But here's the part of the story most people don't know. The YouTube we know today, a platform for everything from cat videos to documentaries, was not the original plan. Their first idea was something completely different. YouTube was originally designed to be a video-based dating website. The domain name, YouTube.com, was even registered on February 14, 2005, Valentine's Day. The concept was simple. Instead of writing a boring text profile, users would upload short videos of themselves, introducing who they were and what they were looking for. The slogan was "Tune in, hook up." It seemed like a clever twist on the online dating trend. There was just one giant problem. Nobody wanted to use it for dating. The founders put the site online and waited for the romantic video profiles to start rolling in. And they waited and waited. In fact, after 5 days, not a single person had uploaded a video. The idea was a total flop. To try and get things started, they even offered to pay women $20 to upload a video of themselves to the site. They got 0 takers. Nobody wanted to put themselves out there like that on a public dating site. However, something unexpected started to happen. While people weren't uploading dating videos, they did start uploading other things. Random things. A clip from a vacation, a funny moment with a pet, a short animation someone made. They were using the platform not for its intended purpose, but simply as an easy way to share any video. This unexpected behavior was a critical turning point. The founders had a choice. They could stick with their original dating idea and try to force it to work, or they could listen to what their users were actually doing. Wisely, they chose to pivot. This decision is what saved YouTube from becoming another failed startup. They made the bold move to completely abandon the dating concept. They stripped away all the hookup branding and re-engineered the site to be a general, open video sharing platform for anything and everything. They realized the real value wasn't in the dating niche, but in the underlying technology that made video sharing effortless. That pivot made history. With the new direction set, the platform needed its very first video. On April 23, 2005, co-founder Jawed Karim uploaded that historic first clip. It's titled Me at the Zoo. The video is only 18 seconds long. It shows a young Jawed standing in front of the elephant enclosure at the San Diego Zoo. He looks at the camera and says, "Alright, so here we are, in front of the elephants." The cool thing about these guys is that they have really long trunks, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say. That's it. It's simple, it's ordinary, it's completely unremarkable, and yet, it's one of the most important videos in internet history. It represents the moment the floodgates were opened. That video is still live on YouTube today, a digital artifact of a revolution just beginning. After that first upload, the growth was explosive. By the end of 2005, millions of videos were being watched every single day. A key feature that fueled this growth was the embeddable player. Suddenly, anyone with a blog or a MySpace page could easily paste a snippet of code and have a YouTube video playing directly on their site. This spread YouTube's reach across the entire internet. It wasn't just a destination, it became part of the web's fabric. And with this new audience, a new type of person began to emerge organically, the content creator. People realized they didn't need a TV studio to build an audience. They just needed a camera and an idea. YouTube grew faster than anyone, including its founders, ever expected. Naturally, this kind of explosive growth didn't go unnoticed. The tech giants were watching, and one in particular saw the future. In November 2006, just 19 months after that first video was uploaded, Google stepped in and acquired YouTube for a staggering $1.65 billion, paid entirely in stock. At the time, many analysts and industry veterans thought Google was insane. They thought Google had massively overpaid for a small startup with no clear business model and huge server costs. But history would prove them all wrong. It turned out to be one of the most successful acquisitions in tech history. So, how did YouTube change the world? It did so much more than just create a successful website. It fundamentally reshaped our culture. It created what we now call the creator economy, an entire industry built around individuals producing content for a global audience. It gave birth to new careers that didn't exist before: YouTubers, streamers, video podcasters, and online educators. It gave a voice to people and communities all over the world who were previously shut out of traditional media. Anyone with a camera and an internet connection could now tell their story and reach millions. It democratized video, turning it from a professional medium into a personal one. From citizen journalism capturing historic events to independent artists sharing their work, YouTube became the world's digital stage. In the end, YouTube wasn't born from a perfect business plan or a stroke of genius. It was born from failure, from frustration, and most importantly, from the flexibility to see where things were going and adapt. It started as a failed dating site and became the second most visited website on the planet. And that's the untold story behind its invention. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the untold stories of technology. Thanks for watching.